What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Moonlight Season 4 Power Rankings.
Woo!
I am here with the GOAT Ari. Sick.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
And a returning wise man in Ryan.
Absolute glizzy gobbler.
That's what we say around here, folks.
Yeah.
Welcome to Season 4 again of the MBA Moonlit Battlers Association.
Yeah.
This is our low-tier league, and first time in Generation 9.
Wow.
It's gonna be crazy.
Big landmark.
Big landmark, and just know that, like, the rankings, one, are complete opinions, and two, they're probably just gonna be wrong because, you know, we still have to figure out what the Univamons Paldeamons do, as well as the Hisuimons, because we also allowed those this season.
And because Hunch is always wrong about my ranking anyways.
I'm just bad.
To be fair, my ranking is normally spot on, so I expect to finish exactly where I am in the rankings.
I find it terrifying that I was actually able to do that last season.
Yeah.
That was
I think the season before, I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, what?
I mean, you predicted a dead last, and I had a bad season.
You always deliver. Alright, without further ado, speaking of dead last, we got on to App's team.
Hey, I was here 2 seasons ago, G. It's not all bad.
I'm sorry to say this, but it just really is.
It is all bad. I'm not gonna lie, Chief.
It's really slow.
It's really, really slow, and it's just bad. You have so many overlapping types. You got 2 darks, 2 psychics, 2 fightings, 2 electrics.
Okay. Looking at this another time, though, he's got what? 2 trick room setters? Maybe slows the goal.
I mean, but what are you gonna do in Trick Room? Abuse Stunfisk? I don't think so. Plus, I mean, like, he's got, like, no fairy resist, and the only ground resist is a bug type, so, I mean, you're not living in Earthquake.
No, not really.
Yeah.
And even if they were to go into a Trick Room mode, the only real abuser would be Mega Ampharos, because things like Hoopa, Incineroar, and Lucario, they're, like, just barely fast enough to be okay out of Trick Room, but also not slow enough to be good inside of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could run minimum speed Incineroar, and it would still be fine.
Yeah, I mean, but then that
Hoopa at
forces you to
70
bring...
speed's definitely getting too fast, though.
Yeah. Then you're forced to, like, run min-speed stuff, so, like, when it's out of Trick Room, like, now you're getting, railed by the entire middle of the table, yeah.
There's also literally no removal on this entire team.
Yes!
Really, really bad.
Yeah, no defog, no rapid spin.
I don't know. I mean, maybe hit one of us up. Maybe try and salvage this, but the only real thing that this team has going is webs with Hoopa Lucario, and then choice band first impression, low kicks shit. I mean, that's about it.
Yeah.
And you've got 1, 2 special attackers. You got a lot of physical attackers and really no way to deal with Scald.
I didn't
the
think
only
of
way
it.
is Poliwrath.
Yeah.
And Poliwrath also just overlaps with Lucario, and I have no idea why you have both. I'm sorry. I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't like it.
Called cornering the market.
It's got some things going for it, but it doesn't have enough. None of the pieces fit together.
No, straight up. All right, moving on.
It's got Incineroar. It's got low kicks.
That's it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
moving on to number 15, we got Saint 11V's team,
Yeah.
which is the most close to being good rain team I think I've ever seen.
I like it.
I like
I
it,
like the manual rain with Amoonguss.
but that's about the only good setter this team has.
I mean, I tried running Whimsicott for all of last season, and it does not work.
Whimsicott doesn't even set rain.
It doesn't. I mean, honestly, I feel like you could maybe swap Whimsicott for around for Yuxi, and then you'd be talking. You'd be doing something.
Yeah.
It's a rain team. You're bringing Amoonguss to every game to set rain. You don't need that other grass type.
It's either Amoonguss or you're setting it with Kingdra or Floatzel, which are one of the ones that want to be abusing rain.
Yeah, you don't want to
You
waste
could
a
set it
spot
with
that.
Gudra too, but then you only have 3 move slots.
Yeah.
Gudra really wants all 4 move slots.
And you'd have to hard pivot it out into one of your sweepers, which is also just really.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of that, you got Steelix, Surfetch, and Absol, which are all really good in their own rights, but they're all kind of slow and not really great against.
Really weak to ground without a flying type.
Yeah. Yeah, really weak to ground. Honestly, weak to poison. You don't really have any switch-ins to that other than Steelix.
Yeah. It's not like every team needs hazards too, but it's nice to have that option. And there's just like the one stealth rock, which is kind of.
I mean, Steelix is getting rocks up every game, but
yeah.
I feel like if you swapped Whimsicott with Yuxi or Mesprit even, like one of those two, and this team is like shooting up a few places. Because it's like just on the cusp of being a really good rain team. Because you got like the rest, hydration, Gudra, which can be really annoying. You got Life Orb, Dry Skin, Heliolisk, which is good. Swift and Kingdra, I don't even need to explain that.
Right.
Floatzel, I believe, getting Wave Crash. So it actually has like, a physical move.
Yeah, there's some really good pieces, and there's also some really good backups. It just doesn't have quite the oomph behind it that you need for it to be successful.
It's one trick, and the one trick is unreliable. So unfortunately, it got you at 15. But anyway, moving on to number 14, Depressed Ari.
Easily the best team we're gonna see today.
Easily the worst because it's got the Shitmon. The Shitmon being the fucking comfy, but anyway, whatever. Fuck yourself.
Hey, it's doing really good so far.
Yeah, you just click Online and Draining Kiss, turn brain off, bunga bunga.
No, I also clicked Giga Drain.
Oh,
If it works, it works.
You also have the freaking Mian Xiao, which is just absolutely giga chad.
That's about all this team has, those Man Xiao Comfy.
I don't get why you swap Hippowdon for Gligar. Because I feel like Hippowdon is just kind of like a thirst trap without Sandstream.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Gligar
I thought it'd be good, and then I was prepping my team, and it's just not useful.
It's not very good for low tier because of how strong the waters and grasses are. Speaking of which,
yeah,
Donde está your Scald switching, my friend?
Yeah, the only water resist is Delmise, and I mean, like, what water type doesn't get Ice Beam?
It's
that's fine.
Ditto does not count.
And wait, why did the speed tiers go from 48 to 90?
Well, because I hate slow Pokemon, okay? Except for Probopass.
Oh,
I like that guy.
You hate slow Pokemon, and then your highest speed bond is 115.
No, it's 105.
Or 105, yeah, not even that.
Checkmate.
Not even that. It's really weak to water and ground specifically, which are two.
It's got a lot of pieces. It just doesn't have a lot of good pieces. Is how I feel about it, really.
They are pieces.
Like, we talked about this before, and someone said that once they drafted Pokemon based on their sprites, and like that's sort of what I did here.
I mean, fair.
This is what it looks like when you do that, guys.
I'm also just mad that you got the 8-point Mega Glalie, which is an oversight.
Yeah, that's absurd.
Yeah, and then it only got 1 kill.
Only got 1 kill, yeah.
I'm really sad about that.
But the Terra Probopass is going to be really interesting, I think.
Yeah, it's
got
the
some
only
crazy
thing,
potential.
other than Corsola, I have that Cantera, and I feel like it's going to be a really good defensive Terra, since it has the pivot as well, has really strong defenses.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yes, that's a good play.
Yeah, but just grab something that helps you with your water problem and your ground problem.
Steel isn't looking
Yeah.
great either if Raboot's the only steel switch in.
Oh, there'll be more steel switches, don't worry.
It's Raboot, man.
Just not until week 3, probably.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. Alright. Well, moving on. We got Alwan's team. Now, from what I understand, this team was randomly generated. All things considered, I'll say the randomizer was pretty damn kind to you. You got some rankings for some pretty good sauce.
You know, the randomizer really hated me because
I
wanted a couple of these picks.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, really? Oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh,
I wanted a couple of these picks.
Oh, rip.
I would have liked Galissapod. I wanted Zorark. He literally picked Zorark the round I was gonna pick Zorark with the randomizer.
That's a rip. But yeah, I mean I think this team is pretty good, all things considered. You got 2 Wish Passes in Florges and Audinoa, though I feel like you could probably drop one of them and maybe get something different.
They're literally the same Pokemon, just with different types. Yeah.
One has Knock, one has Defog, pretty much.
Like, I don't know how many points Audino is, but Florges is just a better Audino. You can get more value out of those points with something else, probably.
While I disagree, because I think Audino is just better with regen,
I like Audino better because it has Regenerate, but you can't deny that objectively Florges is better.
Depends on play style a lot, I think.
Anyway, I really do like the 1-2 punch of Mega Absol Yanmega. I think that's going to be a really devastating physical special breaking force that's going to be really annoying for a lot of teams to deal with.
And you put Zorark behind them.
Yeah.
You never know which one comes out.
Especially if you're dealing with, like, Galissapod, too, because it's like, you have to be dancing around first impressions, which is really hard, coming off of a base 125 attack, so... It's, I think the randomizer did you well.
Yeah, it could be a lot worse.
Speed's not bad. You got 2 really reliable rockers. Defogging is a bit sketchy with Rotom and Florges.
Rotom's a solid defogger. Florges just can't fit it in its moveset most of the time, though.
Yeah, the only thing I'm really concerned about with this team is that it's constantly having to rely on boots.
Yeah.
Yanmega and
right.
Spot. But it's also like just you don't really have many great flying switch-ins other than Aggron and Rotom.
Which are excellent flying switch-ins.
Rotom, Aggron, I'll give you. But I don't know. Strong flying types are just going to clap this cheek 7 ways to Sunday.
Right. And another thing to consider is what about, like, you know, in low tier when all the lichens run prevalent, like you want more rock resist than a guy who's quad weak to fighting and ground. Like that's so easy for a rock type to carry earthquake or like close combat or something. Like Aggron's not putting up a fight if the rock type isn't choiced or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, rock is huge in low tier offensively.
Yep.
So that's not a type that you want to leave open like that.
Definitely not. All right. Well, moving on to our number 12 team, we got DJS. It pains me to put you this low because I know for a fact that even though your team, in our opinions, is just kind of you're gonna wreck house with it because you're just
gonna
you're sick.
prove it so wrong. Yeah.
But
What I'm really sad about here is I picked my second pick before him, so I could have picked Clodsire instead of Hippo.
you could have. You definitely could have.
I think he's got a really strong first three.
Yeah, his first three are insanely good. Plus the
And then
Clodsire
he's got Cleavor.
Oh, don't even get me started. Holy shit, the thing's gonna be a nightmare. I think I might bump it up to 18 next season. I just kind of want to test it out, see how it is. But
Yeah, it's a new Pokemon.
yeah. So the tierings are all kinds of whack right now because we're all learning.
And apparently not very good at double checking things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's extremely weak to ice. Your only ice resist is Mega Houndoom.
Which
Yeah, you don't want to take chip on that.
that does not count.
Yeah. It's incredibly frail too. You get an a stab icicle crash or a stab ice beam coming at Mega Houndoom or an ice beam from a water type. It's a resisted hit, but you're still losing 50%.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you got Aromatisse, which can kind of sponge up most hits, but it doesn't have reliable recovery for itself.
Right.
It doesn't rely on Wish. But the main thing that I'm worried about is, like, where the fuck is your flying answer?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Nothing.
That's sketchy as hell.
Relying on pure bulk, which is not always gonna work. In fact, I would argue it probably won't work a lot of the time.
Yeah, you don't have an electric type or an ice type. You've got Cleavor as a rock type, but
yeah, it's
kind of frail. Flying type's just gonna knock it over too, probably.
Well, I mean,
the boon is you could run Silvally with like any type to cover up a weakness.
Yeah.
Except the problem is then you're forced to run that Silvally type. Like you're playing a defensive type on it rather than like trying to take advantage of what your opponent's team has holes in.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's still the beauty of Silvally is it can do both.
Except you want it to be able to do both, not have to do one.
Yeah.
What I've noticed using Silvally in both low tier and Nat decks is it's much better offensively in low tier and it's much better defensively in Nat decks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it really has the stats to pack a punch offensively in low tier. And you really want to be using it for that.
Yeah.
That is a very good point.
Which means in order to hit a flying type, you have to sack something to it, or you have to slow pivot out into your ice type or electric type Silvally.
Oh, for sure. I guess, honestly, the only real other gripes I have are, like, the speed and maybe the pivoting.
Yeah, I was going to say 95 to 115 is an unfortunate gap because anything with 105 or 110 speed, which a lot of offensive mons have.
Or 100.
Well, I mean, I don't know if 100 can run Adamant without being, like, outsped by Silvally, but the other two, like, they definitely are free to run up in attack or special attack with absolutely no downside. So anybody with a 105 or 110 mon, like, it's their lucky day.
Yeah, I mean, team does have a strong trigger mode, which is kind of cool.
That is cool.
Anyway, yeah. No, I know that you're going to prove us wrong, DJ.
Wait, how does this have a strong trick room mode, but the other team doesn't?
Eggy.
Yeah.
Eggy is actually.
Alright, so his is one good trick room Pokemon.
Eggy is.
And then the other one has also one good trick room Pokemon.
Farigiraf is alright. I think Farigiraf could be good.
It's 60. How come it's good and Incineroar is?
I trust DJS to pull some crazy Aromatisse Trick Room shit. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. We've gushed about this man long enough. All right. Let's move on to number 11 with Pandino. Very confused.
I like this team.
Very confused Wooper rating, by the way, because I just don't know how to rank it.
Yeah, we've got 3 really confused Woopers here.
Yeah, I mean, it's on paper, it's great because 3 different Mons, or 3 new Mons, all doing pretty unique things.
It's got Galarian Slowbro. That's always gonna do weird stuff.
Glowbro is Pog. I do
Yeah.
like Glowbro. I'm really interested to see how Sandy Shocks and Sui and Decidueye do. I think they could be really cool Mons.
Yeah, I don't even know what Hisui and Decidueye does.
Think of it like slower Breloom.
Oh, okay.
Slower and slightly weaker Breloom.
No, I like this team. It's got Guzzlord, it's got Mega Banette, it's got Tornadus, it's got Tinkaton.
Yeah, no, it's
Solid Spinner and Blastoise.
It's really cool, but it was honestly just really hard to rank because it's just got a lot of new things. So it's hard to see how they'll fit.
Yeah.
But I think he could pull off some crazy shit.
This is like a dark horse team almost. It could either fall flat or it could pub stomp everybody.
Yeah, just watch out for ice types because you don't really got the greatest for that.
Yeah.
He's got Blastoise.
Freeze dry.
Yeah, but I mean,
not every ice type's gonna carry freeze dry.
No, it's still just a little bit sketchy.
It does exist though, yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited to see how you pull off with this team. So,
I like this team a lot, but yeah, it's like just due to the unknown factor. This is probably like the best 11th ranked team in history.
Yeah.
It's just like we can't put it higher than that without like maybe screwing up rankings for something we aren't sure could work. So
yeah, I don't know. Just take your ranking as like we think your team's cool. Good luck. Show us what you can do. We're excited to see.
Yeah. Good way of putting it.
Moving on to number 10, we got Young Goat.
All right, let me explain myself. Let me cook.
Let him cook.
All right.
Let him cook.
All right. I know that my only removal is Sigilyph. Okay? I know that's like really bad, but that matches my play style. This team is like 100% me. So I know it's not the most optimal, but like from the Firewater Grass core I love to having Mega Steelix and then like a roster of different like choice / I don't know. I feel like I have like a core roster of like 4 or 5 guys I'm bringing every week, and then a couple of like you never know who's going to come in from Tauros to Overquill to Electros. It's like a switch roster. I really like my team. I know it's not the most optimal, but I like it. So
honestly, I like it.
I don't like the Wo-Chien. That's the only reason I don't like this team. I hate
shut
that
your
one.
ass up about Slugby.
Dude, that stupid green snail's just too fat.
Green is the best color, and snails are awesome. And his name is Slugby, and shut up.
See, it's not stupid because it's green or a snail. Those are just
Thank you.
3 words I am using to describe it is a stupid green snail.
Checkmate.
I agree with the green and the snail.
Green is okay. I like snails.
Alright,
I don't like
we're on the same page. Alright, well now you lost me.
Yeah, so...
I don't know. There seems to be a gap in logic there.
I think your only removal being Sigilyph is kind of bad because one of the reasons I like this team is because I think you can pilot the Sigilyph pretty well. But with everything else on your team, it's resorted to being a defogger every single game, and that really hinders its ability.
Defog.
Yeah, unless you don't run defog. but then you're running boots on everything, which is really sad.
Man's looking like he might roll up to Home Depot with them Tims.
Yeah,
I think you'll probably be very successful with this team. But when we were ranking it, I had to remind everybody that we need to take the nameplates off for that, because as a whole, it's kind of a meh team, really. You only go up to 100 speed there.
Yeah.
Got Sigilif as your removal.
Yeah.
2 toxic spike setters, but only 1 spikes and 1 rock setter.
I know, it is a very mid team. It's definitely not for everybody, but for Dr. Choice items plus same defogger every week, this is like a dream come true roster. So I know it deserves 10th, but I'm happy with it. For me, it's like a top 5. But
yeah, I would not be surprised if this team does really well, just because it's you piloting it.
Yeah, just because I don't know how to play like with a good roster.
It's like the DGS situation. I mean, to be fair, baseline, Ryan easily has the best Firewater Grass core out of everyone in the league. I think that's pretty fair to say. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, it is kind of hot.
I'm also.
You don't like my Corsola, Raboot, and
what's
the
no
dude?
No slug BL.
I don't see a live Wochin reaction out of you. Yeah, anyway. Jesus Christ. Next up, we got Sorrow. How we feeling about this? I had to face this week 1. I threw real hard in prep.
Go Hodge! Woo!
Gosh.
Woo!
Oh my god, shut up.
He does it again.
Oh my
god.
I like the team. I like the team.
It's good.
I think it's kind of weird.
It's weird because the 2 ground types, but I feel like they just do different enough roles that you can kind of get away with it. You also have P2, which is like the best blanket check in low tier, where it can just sit in front of anything.
Yeah, you just throw an Eviolite Porygon at something, and
they just cry.
As long as they don't press Toxic, they're crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rotom-Mow is also a really good addition to the team, because it's like you cover the Nidoqueen really beautifully here, because you got 3 mons right off the bat that are immune to ground. You got things that are immune to, or that are pretty resistant to Psychic. I really like the defensive synergy with this team. It's really good.
You cover your ice checks. You cover your ice weaknesses pretty decently as well.
Yeah, you got the Lapras, the Rapidash that I was terrified of week 1 for its freaking Terra Fire.
Right. Rapidash is weird because like it has recovery, so you can run a defensive set on it too.
It's so cursed to hear, but it's actually kind of true because you can Terra it to any type. You also have the Persian, which is really cool with fast pivoting and parting shots.
Yeah. Well, with the weaknesses on his team too, even keeping it a fire type would be decent defensively.
Yeah, I think what keeps this team pretty high for us is it's like the typings balance each other out really
It's a really well balanced team.
As weird as it looks, it works.
The one comment I had about it when we were rating them is, what does Machoke do? Like you could spend those picks more wisely, those points more wisely. I think.
I think for what it is, I mean, it's just a low tier fighting type. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
The way I see this roster is like there are a lot of picks here where like I feel like the team could be a little bit more min-maxed. You know what I mean? Like he could like downgrade a couple mons and trade up a couple mons. But at the same time, like this also means your opponent has no idea what mons you're bringing every week. Like you can totally change it up from week to week because so many things are like similar in ability. I don't know. I feel like this is like you try to like punch it and then it caves in around you and it swallows you whole, kind of. Like it's just so adaptable.
It's really cool, and I'm really excited to see what
do you prep for against this team?
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you prep for You prep for all 11.
If I was playing this, it would be like such an incredibly mid to bad roster. But I feel like if you pilot this well, it could be insane. You just have to catch your opponent off guard. Which I mean, if you keep doing that, have happy championship, man. But
Yeah,
it all comes down to that.
I'm excited to see where you go with this. I mean,
Yeah,
it's really good.
Another wild card. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the upper Estrelons now. We got T-Cow, his squad. First and foremost,
I still can't
mad-
decide whether I like it or not, because every time I look at it, I'm like, I like it.
mad
Never
respect
mind.
for
Wait,
round
but I
two
like it.
Golem. Mad respect for round 2 Golem.
Yeah. For real.
But yeah, when we were talking about this, it's like the defensive part of this team, probably the best in low tier. Probably the best.
It's incredibly defensive, and then it has Charizard and Mega Manectric.
And
Yeah, it's
Gardevoir.
nuts in that
And
regard.
it's like, what more do you need than that, though?
I feel like one good physical breaker in this team is it.
Yeah.
It's really close. The one main gripe that I have with
Charizard gets Swords Dance Scale Shot, though.
that's true.
Charizard's a really good physical breaker in low tier.
I think it could be okay, but it's a bit tough.
There's
to
a lot of
get going,
setup.
especially with this slower paced team.
Mhm.
But I mean, I think it could be okay. But the main issue that I think I have with the team as of right now, it's really weak to ice, and it's really
The
kinda
removal.
It's the removal. I think is reasonable because Donphan is just an amazing spinner that you could just slap spin on any set and be fine.
Yeah.
You just throw a Ghost type, or your Terra Captain's a Ghost type for the battle, and then
Yeah, it's
It's
you
true.
never remove anything.
Yeah, I had Iron Treads as like my only removal in one league, and it worked fine until I was up against a Ghost type, and then it was just me getting like clowned on for 70 turns straight. So you gotta play real well, which I mean, yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying like it sucks a lot more for you. So have fun with that.
The other thing I've noticed is just, like the team is pretty weak to Edgequake, in my opinion.
Yes, exactly. I was gonna say that too, because your only ground resists are Charizard, who, if there's even a slightest morsel of a chance, there's a rock move coming in, keep it the fuck out of the playing field.
Yup.
And then Gorgeist, who, I mean, like, why would you want Gorgeist to tank a hit? Really, I guess.
What?
Like it could. It's got like.
Well,
I don't know.
because that's all it's good for.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm the biggest Gorgeist offensive apologist. Like you can run some crazy choice sets with it, but
Gorgeous is awesome, but
yeah, Gorgeist is incredible. But I don't know. That's not what you want to be the defensive be all end all ground switch in, because I mean if they put knockoff on it, you're fucked. So
I think it's okay for what it is. But it's
I
just,
don't know.
It's just something that's a little bit of an issue with the team. But
Yeah.
the main reason that
We've got it in the middle for.
Yeah, we didn't put it much higher because the speed tiers are absolutely horrendous.
They are not great.
A lot of things can run modest or adamant against this team and just go completely unpunished.
Okay. But they do get punished for it because you've got Mega Manectric and Charizard at solid speed tiers.
Yeah,
A
but
lot of
it's-
things actually can't run because then you bring your Charizard out and it outspeeds them because they're running modest or adamant.
Well, if
Charizard's
it's 110
coverage
or
is
above,
huge.
Charizard's coverage is huge, but
Yeah,
it's one
it's
mod.
like speed 110 or above too. The only Charizard is now not as fast, even if it's running adamant.
Like we were saying earlier, like Rock is a really good type offensively
Mhm.
in low tier specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Good luck. Good defense.
Looking good.
Yeah. All right. Number 9 or 7. Jesus, I can count. Got right.
What's the
on.
difference?
Exactly. Now you know what I'm saying. So with all the teams that didn't really have many hazards, this team has all the hazards of the world,
Just
or at least all rock.
which it needs because
Yeah.
its only removal is defog on Crobat.
No, it's got Torkoal.
Rapid spin, but like I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm just blind.
Um,
I knew it had Torkoal.
I like this team because I've also played a lot of RU with the Dunsparce, and the Dunsparce is really funny
Mhm.
with Calm Mind Boomburst. Plus, the Basculegion could be a really nasty wall breaker with adaptability.
Yeah.
Doesn't have last respects, but I think it's gonna be still pretty good.
Doesn't need it either.
No, not in low tier. I don't think. I think it's gonna be insane.
Mhm.
How well does
You've
it
got
pick?
Celebi, which is a really fast pivot for low tier.
Yup, Celebi's amazing for this.
You could speak tiers at least like from Cobelian down like that. It's pretty solid. There aren't really any gaps you can take advantage of
Yeah, I
until it gets down to like the 70-55 region, but like who cares?
I'm pretty okay with the 130 to 108 because there's not many
Yeah.
teams that can fit in that gap.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hit like 120 before they're
115
free to
still
run.
have
Adamant.
yeah, 115 stuff to run timid.
Yep.
Yeah, so
So,
I'm pretty
it's
fine
big.
with that.
Once you get below 70 there, Dunsparce, isn't that paralyzing everything anyways? And then the other two are just
Yeah.
always slower regardless.
Yeah, it's always paralyzing shit or just setting up and spamming Calm Mind.
It's scary. I will say it is a lot more physically oriented, both like physically and defensively. Like if you look at the stats, it's got great attack overall, great defense overall, but like there isn't a lot of special attack or special defense. The only mon with like notable stats in those categories is Celebi, and the rest of them are just kind of there.
And
Like, you
Pikachu.
can get around. Okay, dog.
He,
I mean, you can get
he's
around
got
that.
Light Ball Pikachu.
Yeah,
With
you could
Terra.
get around it more easily with Assault Vest than you could like a physical lacking, but like still, like you're either specially weaker by a lot, or you're running Assault Vest on stuff every week. So
Yeah.
something to look out for.
I overall, I think this team is pretty good. It's just like the few places that I think we could improve on. This team is even more Edgequake weak than the last one, which is really
True.
not great. Plus, it just doesn't feel like it can take a water move at all. I mean, other than Celebi, but water and ice coverage just kind of blow this team out of the
Right.
water. So it's a bit sketchy there.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Suboptimal.
Yeah. I think the team could be really, really nasty if you.
Yeah, it definitely bangs.
Yeah. These top few teams are really difficult to rank because a lot of them are very interchangeable. So it's more like we're just going to be talking about what we think about them.
Mhm.
Alright. Let's move on to number 6 to Fist to Your Doom. Dear Lord, this team hits like
Wow.
a freight train.
Yes.
It hits like an absolute freight train.
I was disappointed to see Regidrago go, and I was even more disappointed to see it join this roster of offensive beasts.
He's got Drag Mag.
Yeah. let people live, dog.
Like, come on, man. Yeah, no. This team is ludicrously hyper offense, which is both a blessing and a curse. Where it's like, if your opponent sets up on you without you being set up yourself, you kind of get boned. Especially if you just have an ice move. Or, like, a steel. Or water.
What's the steel type
Ground isn't
doing
great
to
either.
Magnezone, though?
Ground move.
Yeah, they're probably gonna get Quake.
Yeah. It's also really, like, one go switching as well. I guess Rhyme could do whatever it wants, but... Yeah, no, team is unparalleled in terms of its offensive prowess. The only thing that's holding it back is that that's all it can do.
Yeah. If you run up against like another, offensive team where it's like you really have to prep a counter for it. Like, good fucking luck, pal.
Yeah. The only problem with it being hyper offense too is you've only got 2 Pokemon above 100,
Yeah, you're gonna.
so you're really open to revenge killers.
You open to revenge
That's
killers
true.
and opposing Scarfers, because you're gonna have to be scarfing that Typhlosion and Magnezone quite a bit, I think.
Mhm.
And the Draco is already really predictable. You just kind of switch in a Fairy and GG.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see how the Lilligant will go. 'Cause
Mhm.
that's kind of the X factor of the team, I think.
Yeah. I would say the speed tiers are actually pretty gorgeous. It goes all the way up from 50 to 105 without any gaps to like really screw the team up
Yeah.
that badly. Like that's pretty impressive. And then Aerodactyl's there to clean up like other fast mons, so that's nice. And Aerodactyl, you can definitely pilot to like single-handedly take victories. But the problem is it is a little luck based with like its best moves being Stone Edge and Dual Wing Beat. You're taking a lot of risks on that front.
It could also
But
be a pretty damn good lead. Just set Stealth
yeah,
Rocks and Suicide lead,
yeah, that's
It
that's
does get
nice.
Tailwind as well.
Yeah.
Can run some funny sets.
But I think that sums it up pretty okay.
Yeah,
Anything else? We got it.
I like the team.
Team hit
I think,
hard.
yeah, it'll be fun to play.
Oh, for sure. Alright. Coming in at number 5 is myself. You
Let's
guys-
go.
Easily the worst team here.
Shut the fuck up.
No Comfey, L.
Oh my god. You guys seem to love it, but I'm really not a fan of the Quag.
Extremely fighting. What do you mean you're not a fan of the Quagsire?
on
I
this
was the
team,
one
no.
telling you.
On this
I was the
team,
one telling you to drop Quagsire
oh
from
my
the beginning.
God, maybe week
I wasn't even here during the ratings. Like I would have
Yeah.
told you, Quagsire is not that good. I tried to use it one time. It's everyone talks about it like it's an absolute wall, and like defensively, it's really underwhelming. It's really only good for sweepers.
I
How many different variations of this team did we make without Quagsire? Because I told you to drop Quagsire out of everything
You know
here
what
for
the
your
issue is?
fighting resist,
You know what
and
the
you didn't go for any of them.
Dee stole my Gastrodon. That's my John. Dee stole my Gastrodon and he didn't give it back, and I'm really upset about that. Spoilers, by the way. But yeah, you guys go off about my team. All I'm gonna say is the Shandy plus Swellow plus Grimmsnarl is really fun.
Yeah, no, your offensive core is disgusting.
I think it's a solid team minus Quagsire and Primeape.
Yeah,
Hold the
I will.
Like, I know you like the Primeape. I'm not a
No.
fan of the Primeape.
Primate, I think is kind of sick with it. I'm not gonna lie.
He's got Bulk Up and Rage Fist. That's still legal.
Yeah, and it could be a Scarfer, or against the right team, you could band it and have it go absolutely monkey mode. I don't know. I think that'd be funny to see.
Also gets Eviolite.
Oh, true.
So.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
So that's also kind of cool. I don't have a
I mean,
Terra Captain, which is.
Would you ever run that?
You've got
Week 1, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, how'd that turn out?
Shut up. I threw.
You got a
Oh.
solid pivot in the Prankster parting shot. You've got dual screens, so you can dual screens parting shot into anything you want to. Which
I
you've
do
got
like
the Chandelure
Shed Tail.
behind it, the Swellow behind it, the Lycanroc behind it, the Serena behind it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
good.
nice.
I guess dual screens would make your Eviolite Primeape really good. You could set up 3 bulk ups in front of your opponent without worrying about anything.
Stop making him better. I face him in like 3 weeks.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you.
The fact that Chandelure is like the only fighting switch in is rough as hell. Because you don't want any. If that's not a fighting
You don't
move,
want
like
them to
Chandler
press
dies.
knockoff instead.
Yeah.
It just sucks because I've tried tinkering with this team so much. But
You
try
drop
harder, Hans.
Quagsire, and that gives you a lot of points to work with.
I'm going to. It just fit the water plus ground roll really well that I needed. Because I really wanted Gastrodon originally, but We all know how that went.
How'd that turn out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't turn out good.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'll make it work.
Yeah,
There's better waters for less points.
it's like, yeah, once you get like that like Quagsire / fighting problem worked out, this is disgusting and hard to break and also hard to defend against at the same time.
And you have to do it
in that
before
maneuver.
3 weeks are up so you can beat Ryan.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, come on!
Yeah. I also
Wait
really
a few more weeks, man.
Oh my god. I also really like the Orthworm pairing with Chandelier, just in terms of type base, like just the typings. I think they work really well together.
Nice as hell, yeah. A great earth and ground or rock switch in. Huge.
Yeah. Plus Shandy absorbing any fighting or fire moves, which is kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah, although once again, you don't want to use that for fighting, but like
No.
hypothetically, that would be really good if you can make the predict without it backfiring.
Yeah. I think the team's okay. It
Yeah.
definitely has room to improve because I'm always tinkering with these freaking teams.
Yeah, it's just like those couple areas, and then it'll be an absolute goat roster.
Hell yeah.
The synergy is insane right now.
Yeah, it can get better. I'll make
Yeah.
it better. Alright. Moving on.
Okay.
Number 4, we got Drew 07.
Woo. Love to see Porygon.
Yeah, the Porygon kind
Little
of.
homie's chilling.
Base Porygon's a sleeper pick, really.
On G.
Super cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Although this Firewater Grass has also got given Ryan a run for his money.
I'll admit it. It's
No,
pretty
it's
good.
not.
Yeah, it is.
He's got
At least
Ryan's got
defensively.
Entei, and then
Yeah.
Drew's got the budget
I mean,
Entei.
Like
It doesn't do anything Entei does.
I think my core's better, but like it did make me think about it first. Like it actually did make me weigh it out. You know, so which is a feat because I invested like half my total points into that core. So like, good fucking work on this core.
You know what this team does have though, right? This team's got Titan.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's got Titan with dual screens. I was originally thinking.
Which when I first looked at it, I'm like, I don't know what Titan does. This team's kind of meh. And I looked at what Titan can do. That could probably carry the team on its own behind the screens.
Belly Drum Ice Shard.
Yeah.
It's Ice
It's
type
scary.
Azurill plus Sheer Force.
And if Titan can't do it, he's got the Banded Zydog.
Yup. Banded Zydog and the Terra Altaria, which I'm really excited to see. I was thinking about having that in one of my plans, but I think it's really cool that you got that.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. That is a cool Terra Captain.
Defensively, he's got Porygon, Licky Licky, Shaman, Slowking, Klefki.
Defensively,
Yeah.
the team's outstanding. Offensively, it's a little bit. It's okay.
Only thing he's lacking really is hazards. He's got spikes on Klefki.
That's it.
His pivots are kind of lacking. He's got Jolteon.
Yeah, it's hazards wise not very good because you also only have like 2 removal. On paper, I mean, like if you look at the team, it looks good, but the utility is a little lacking.
Yeah, that's really all that it's lacking is the utility.
Although, like healing wise, it's really it's got like
It's
once
got
or status
Clerics.
It's got
Yeah.
Clerics, a fat ass Wishmon. It's got Porygon.
If you don't go all in on killing shit, like it won't die. Like you can't rely on chip to get the team down.
Which I guess to an extent can blanket the lack of removal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that also means that you have to adopt a certain play style, like a little bit slower, a little bit more stallish. You have to be good with your like protect predictions and whatnot. So it relies
Everything
a lot
on this team can use Toxic except Titan too.
Yeah, so this is going to be a really bitch team to play against, but like it's really good. So
You gotta be very careful because if this team knows when to unleash the Titan, then all bets are
Yeah.
off.
all about timing for sure.
Well, It's not hard to figure out when to unleash the Titan. You
Absolutely.
toxic everything your opponent has, you set up screens,
They
then you
cry
whip
about
it out.
Eat them for lunch and dinner, and then the
Yum,
following breakfast.
yum. Nom nom nom.
Yeah,
That's how
after
I
a
like
hearty
my
victory
meals.
sleep. Yeah,
And that's why I like this team.
yeah. Way to
Alright.
tie it together.
We got number 3. We're going to Jax now.
Woo.
First of all, fuck you for stealing Heracross. I wanted that round 2.
It's weird, but it's
second-
also really strong.
Second of all, your team's really good.
Yeah.
I think this
Oh.
team is insane.
You wanna see a really solid defensive fire water grass core?
Yeah.
Here it is.
It's literally just cookie cutter, like good defensive cores.
Mhm.
Double Fairy's a little weird, but I think it'll be fine.
Wheezing G is so good here.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like if you swap Diancie out for maybe like a special attacking wall breaker or something, I think he'll be
Boom.
golden.
Yeah, Wheezing G is already doing a lot, and you've got enough special bulk that you don't really need to balance it out with the Antsy of all things.
You got Mantine. I think you're good on the special
Yeah,
bulk
you're-
front.
Yeah.
Worst comes to worst, like if you really need more special
And-
bulk for a specific roster, you got Claydol, it'll be okay.
Yeah. And honestly, you could switch Diancie out for another offensive Pokemon. Because you've got Weezing Galar physically, you've got Mantine specially, you've got Claydol, which can be either. You've got
Pick up all the
Arcanine
evil
physically.
hits. Yeah.
You've got Superior, which can be either.
The only thing that I'm kind of worried with about this team is that it's only like cleric options are Wheezing and Superior, which probably don't really want to be running aromatherapy that much because this team could kind of just crumble to toxics.
Diancie can also heal, Bell.
Yeah.
If our advice is get rid of Deancey, we're not going to, we probably
Yeah.
shouldn't say the good thing about this
Well, I
team
mean,
is Deancey.
That might be why he picked Diancie, is because it's his cleric.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if
Also,
that's the case, you could pick a better cleric, probably.
Yeah, find a different one. Yeah.
You could find one that has offensive capabilities, or at least wish support.
But now, let's talk about the ginormous elephant in the room being Eviolite Bisharp.
Oh my god.
I
don't know
mean,
how that's gonna work, but dear God, I'm terrified to find out.
Yeah.
the thing about Bisharp, though, is like,
It's got bulk in like I wouldn't say like a
It's-
similar ballpark to it's like Doublade at home.
honestly, I think it might be better than Doublade. Because Doublade, you've got what? The Eviolite set
Well,
with
no,
Shadow Sneak, Swords Dance.
I mean in terms of bulk,
Bisharp, you can still run Scarf, you can still run Band, you can run Eviolite, Swords Dance, Sucker
Oh,
Punch.
no, I know that, but I mean in terms of bulk,
It can run Rocks. Yeah, it could run a bulkier set with Drain Punch Rocks.
It's
It-
just mindfuck city.
Extremely versatile.
it's really good. I think,
And its
yeah.
evolution just added more versatility to it.
Yep. I'm excited
Speed
to see
tiers
it.
are making me go crazy right now. Those are nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty
Yeah,
nasty.
There's nothing in there from 50 all the way up to 113, which means that you're forcing even base 120 mons to, run plus speed nature if they want to outspeed, superior.
Even then, they're getting glared.
Yeah,
And then-
so
And then look at the weakness spread. The only thing it's really scared of is Scald users.
Even then, Mantine and Serp just kind of eat it up for breakfast.
and we were talking about
Yeah,
the
but if your
cleric option.
Mantine or Serp die,
Well, then, yeah, all bets are
Yeah.
off. He's got 2 options
Yeah.
for it.
I mean, if shit dies, it's going to be a less good roster for sure, but
You know.
it's really defensive. So, there's so many good switch-ins. I feel like the type coverage is so nice. Like the fact that Mantine is your main special wall, and then, here comes electric type move. Boom, the other special wall, Claydol comes in and doesn't take an ounce of damage. I don't know. That's great.
Claydol
planning.
doesn't even have to be special for that to happen. Claydol could
okay.
be physical.
But like on the off chance it switches away from using an electric move, like you're not worried. You're still chilling.
Yeah, really good.
Defensively,
It's nice.
I'm not worried with this team in general.
No.
Yeah.
It's going to be really hard to break.
Hmm.
All right. Well, moving on to number 2, we got Mark _QJRT. Now, the reason we rank this so high is because I know Mark is well, nameplate's off. Mark is a fantastic player. Plus, you got some really cool shit. You got a
Agreed.
lot of new stuff,
He's got the first pick Glamora.
which it was, you know.
He's got I wouldn't call that weird. Glamora's probably
Glamora's really
best hazard setter in low tier.
It's the best hazard.
It might even just be the best hazard setter, period.
Yeah.
You've got Gallade followed up with Gallade.
With sharpness.
Yeah,
Which
and
makes-
sword stance.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I'm excited to see what.
Then
you
you've
do
got
with Scream.
Screamtail. I don't know what Screamtail does, but I've heard that it does things.
Yeah,
And
Greens.
fuck you.
I don't want to see what those
No.
things are.
I'm sorry, it wasn't Didi. It was Mark that took Gastro.
Yeah.
Mark has Gastrodon. And, we all know that's a solid Pokemon already.
It's insane, yeah.
Insane.
I've seen Hanch playing some Kilowattrel. That thing can do some funny things.
Kilowattrel's so funny.
I'm a humongous fan of the Terra Vespiquen.
Yeah, that's gonna
Like-
be really cool.
Bug flying shit type. But the fact that you can now change it to something else and have it be like a very effective defensive wall for whatever you need that week.
See, I'm just
That's
seeing,
huge.
Vespiquen can also run some pretty funny sets, too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just seeing 70, 102, 102 defensive steel type.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, with fucking defend order. Ugh.
Agreed.
And then he's got the Drought Vulpix and the Leafeon right behind it.
Yeah, this team
Oh.
has so much sauce, and it's got webs.
Yeah, and it's
got so much
alongside
sauce.
all that, it's just like so unconventional. Like I pull this team up and I think about like what I want to do to prep against it, and my first thought is just like, what the fuck? I don't know. It's so unconventional and beautiful, and I don't know. I feel like modern art.
There's so much going on, and it's
Yeah.
damn near impossible to prep for all of it. One gripe I'll say, hella weak to Edgequake.
Rock.
A lot of teams are kind of weak to Edgequake, but
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's that weak to Earthquake. It's definitely weak to Rock, though.
it's not terribly weak to ground. But
It's got 2 immunes. It's got 2 resist. Granted, 2 resist are frail.
yes, it's like, but team looks astounding.
yeah.
But
Most
it is
definitely.
incredibly weak to rocks, with the only removal being a single defogger.
Yeah, that's like keeping. I think that's keeping it out of the top spot. Personally, that's what's keeping it out of the top spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought too. Was it's got 1 defogger.
The repeat types are a bit cringe as well.
Yeah, I don't mind repeat types so much in low tier,
Yeah.
because it's like there's so much going on, and you can cover them up a lot better because there's a lot of Pokemon that become viable the lower down in the rankings you go.
Yep. But
And then he's also got really good cleric support there too.
I just really like the fact that this team just throws up hazards, and you just kind of
This team just throws up, and then you lose to it.
Exactly. What do you do to this team just vomiting all over your shoes? You're not gonna clean it off. You just lose your feet. That's it.
Yeah.
Dude, this is projectile vomiting. This isn't going to your shoes. This is on your chest or in your face.
Yeah, that's rippy dippy.
Yeah, you're getting a new tuxedo after this one.
Oh my god.
Why are you wearing a tuxedo?
Gotta look your best.
Dude, I need to look nice. Yeah.
Gotta look
Alright,
your best
might be-
maker. And speaking of that
Sure.
maker, we got
Speaking
the
of-
H-Man 01 or 911 Shit, we're gonna need
Ciao.
ambulance for this.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna start off. The only thing I don't like about this team is the Vigoroth. You can spend those points better on literally anything else.
I think we were actually talking in the rankings. If you change that Vigoroth to Electabuzz, this team would be excellent.
Yeah, like
The
that's what
flying
it's
resist.
missing.
Yeah, well,
That'd be it.
if they got a electric type, you'd have a flying resist.
That's what I'm saying.
Electabuzz is another pivot too. You never have too many pivots. I think it gets knockoff, it gets bulk up, it gets Eviolite.
But let's talk about the team does have. It has fucking no Lycan Dusk, my goat, my child, my son. The way Delphox and Teleon.
I mean,
Yeah.
they can read, right?
No.
What doesn't this team have?
It's literally
An electric type.
That's it. It checks every
That's-
single other box.
Look at
so
the
scary.
speed tiers on this team.
40 to 123 with absolutely nothing left unchecked.
It's
Aside from maybe 71 to 85, but
even then, like,
It's got amazing
Yeah.
hazards. It's got decent hazard control.
mhm.
It has knockoff. It has pivots. It's got clerics. It's got toxic. Has a really nice spread of typings.
I think this
Really
team
nice
has-
spread of speed tiers.
Yeah, team has every type except for ice and electric. But
aside from Vigoroth, you cannot discount anybody on this team.
no, this
Maybe I'm biased because I had to prep for week 1, except I spent like so much time prepping for Delphox. They didn't even bring it. Like,
Yeah, right.
there are just so many fucking threats here. It's so bad. It's so scary.
it's,
This team is. He could randomize which 6 Pokemon he brings any week, and it would be a solid team.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this team literally checks every single one of the boxes. You got the speed on lock. You got hazards pretty good. You got removal, 2 of the best options available. You have 2 wish passers. It's like it's got everything. It's got setup. It's got power. It's got drive. It's got power. They stay hungry. They devour. Oh my god.
Yeah, when we were ranking these, we had a lot of food analogies. Yeah, some of these teams are just the bread. Some of these teams are just the meat. Some of these teams are just sauce. This team's an entire sandwich.
You've made.
You got the
Gordon Ramsay
bread,
proud.
you've got the mayonnaise, you got the veggies, you got the cheese, you've got the meat, you've got the other slice of bread on top. It's a complete team.
It's
Yeah, a little.
I
Yeah.
just, Ryan was
Well
talking about
deserving
modern
of the #1 spot.
art. Absolutely. Ryan was talking about modern art. This is the masterpiece. This is the
Yeah, this isn't just modern art.
This is
just
this
art.
is the Mona Lisa.
Yeah,
Damn,
it's got a lot of old classics. It's like the Mona Lisa, but if you gave it like a really classy, like funny tuxedo shirt or something with the dash bun, like that's what it feels like an old classic with this tiny little modern touch that elevates it to like a divine state.
Oh my god, yes. Alright.
This is the Galaxy Brain.
Yeah,
I think that'll do it for us for the power rankings. So thank you all for tuning in and watching. Even though I know that you all were skipping around and you only came to see your own team, but whatever.
What do you mean? They all came to see your team.
Oh, I'm sure. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to my co-hosts Ryan and Ari. If you guys have anything else to say to the league and to the peeps,
happy whooping.
indeed, it's whoopin' time.
It's whooping time.
All right, have a great day. Goodbye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mwah.